Thank you. Great to be back at Noosa again. We always enjoy this event every year. We get to meet people who are new to our story, people who are well immersed in our story. It's a great place to network and catch up with everybody, get asked some hard questions. We look forward to this event every year. So for those of you who are new to the story, Diatreme Resources, we're looking to be a producer of critical mineral in high purity silica. I say this with some humility, but we believe we are a genuine tier one opportunity, both in jurisdiction, size and scale. And if you get a takeaway from today's presentation, I'd like you to also share that view. Our standard disclaimer applies. So our projects are in Far North Queensland, north of Cooktown. We have an enormous tenement area, over 500 square kilometres. We're a developer of two projects, one in the southern part of our tenement called Galala Silica Project. And really the focus of my presentation today is around our northern silica project. Obviously in the northern part of our tenement area, I apologise for the lack of name. We're working with our traditional owners. We look to rename the property. The Galala project, for example, was named by prominent Tithar elder, and we'll be looking to rename our northern project as we move that forward as well. We're developing our silica projects with a major partner in Sibelco, who are one of the world's largest industrial minerals companies and preeminent in the silica space. They add enormous value, not just monetarily, but also access to an incredible pool of expertise to help us develop these projects. So our aim is to be a near-term producer. This low iron, it's a very particular grade of silica used in the manufacture of solar panels. About 70% of every solar panel by weight is actually the encompassing glass on the outside. It's a very particular grade, has to be a very particular grade for its characteristics. And it's used, we refer to it as PV grade, it's used exclusively in the manufacture of solar panels. We have one of the purest projects in the world in our northern silica, very similar to our southern project as well. So unusually for our size, we are a developer of two major projects. I don't think I need to convince you in the growth in the solar panel industry, in the renewable space. Investment in solar has actually overtaken oil for the first time ever. We're an active participant in the growth in that market. I think importantly too, our product will not displace any current providers of high purity silica. We're looking only to accommodate the growth in the market. I think that's an important distinction. Quick corporate snapshot. Again, I think unusually, I'll draw your attention to our cash level. We're extremely well funded for where we are. We will not be seeking any more funding for this year or next year. We're funded through the whole process, through our permitting and approval on our Northern Silica project. That is a combination of corporate and joint venture contributions from our partner Sibelco. As part, I'll go in more detail, but in that second tranche of their participation in our silica projects, there's another $24 million coming in December this year. So we see our runway through permitting and approvals fully funded. We also enjoy in our corporate structure some really supportive key cornerstones in our Weller Flannery family, who've been strong supporters of ours for a number of years now. Sibelco came in as part of a corporate placement also. Deutsche Balaton, the German mining fund, highly supportive of us. We look forward to unlocking the value we think in that stock as well over the coming year or two, or maybe sooner. Good strong board, high profile chairman and Mr. Wayne Swan. Wayne has a particular focus on Indigenous engagement, really experienced across all sectors, and in particular one of our directors, William Wang, Head of Commodities for CITIC, extraordinarily well immersed in silica and heavy mineral markets as well. So what's the shape of that Sibelco joint venture? Our formation of that, it was in June last year. Progressive two-tranche investment, first tranche received, hence our rather large cash level. Second tranche coming in December this year. They'll have a 26.8. We think we've negotiated a very fair arrangement for both parties. At that second drawdown, they'll have a 26.8% interest in our Silica projects. They are preeminent in the silica space worldwide. However, we are the manager on ground. We continue to have a majority position in the projects. They bring world-class technical knowledge and are looking to add further value in downstream as well. So we're looking at other silica products. With their expertise, we're confident we can look to adding some other strings to our bow, so to speak. So who is Sibelco? Over 5,000 employees, world leader in the European markets, largest recycler, interestingly, of glass too in Europe. They have many strings to their bows, but they're ultimate specialists in this space. Exposure in silica, clays, recycled glass, huge in recycled glass. Clear leadership in high purity quartz used in the production of photovoltaics and microprocessors. They have a dominant market share in that. They're a great partner for us, provide us the expertise, and I think, to be blunt, the credibility as we enter into more formal arrangements with off-takers and as we advance our project further. So exposure historically, enormous tenement area. We have a huge dune system from 2018 to 23, really about exploration, resource definition, really understanding the nature of the, you refer to it as a tiger by the tail. This is an enormous deposit system, incredibly high purity, naturally high purity. What we found as we explore and look, we have a background in heavy minerals. We came originally to this tenement area looking for heavy minerals. We couldn't find any. Every time we put down a drill, to come back this incredibly high purity in situ, up to 99% pure Si, just extraordinary purity. A lot of that has to do with the formation of the dunes originally, and also the natural action of vegetation over thousands of years. As the vegetation breaks down, it forms a natural humic acid, which is actually leached through the dunes. It's done the work for us. It's naturally leached out the impurities in the dune system. In fact, when you go in the swales between the dunes, you can see it's very tea-coloured water, which is actually the natural leaching action through the dunes. It's cleaned it for us. So how do we go? We also have the privilege of being immersed incredibly in community. The area in which we operate has 13 clan groups, 2 PBCs. Our philosophy from the start has been to engage regularly and often. We recently had, and we've been working very closely with the traditional owners and the affected native title holders. We're in the process of negotiating our mining project agreement for our northern project, dealing very closely with Wallumbilla Aboriginal Corporation and their TONC, their negotiation committee. We recently had a community open day in Hopevale, which was incredibly well supported. I think importantly, we didn't do it just to tick something on an EIS process or a permitting process. We did it because we genuinely wanted to engage, and I think they appreciated that. We had over 100 people attended. There was no agenda. It was just about a discussion. We set up displays with our exploration equipment and other things so they could understand really what we're about. More informal environment so they could ask open and honest questions. We set up microscopes so they have a look at sand with rather large LCD screens. There was a bunch of school kids there from the local school. Whilst they were supposed to be looking at sand, invariably we had a barbecue, so next thing, thousands of dollars of equipment with a sausage under the microscope, having a look at that. Kids enjoyed it immensely, but we enjoy that part of our process. So yeah, we've set some, as we move forward, we're setting some pretty aggressive Indigenous employment targets as we move through in the planning to mining. I think regionally it's various mines in the Gulf, probably hovering between 35 and 40% Indigenous employment. We're setting quite an ambitious target of 60% Indigenous employment on startup. We know that's rather aggressive, but and we have to plan that now. We really have to move that forward now in our process over the next couple of years. So what's it look like? Our northern resource base, over 235 million tonne resource. We immediately surround the operations of the world's largest silica mine, Cape Flattery Silica Mines, which is owned by Mitsubishi. Our intention is to share common infrastructure or parts of common infrastructure at the port of Cape Flattery. Our resource has been expanding consistently to get to that 235 million tonnes. Our scoping study is now complete. We're advancing our feasibility studies. Permitting and approvals are underway. We recently announced offtake with Flat, second largest PV glass manufacturer in China. They control about just over 20% of the PV market in China. And they're desperately seeking supply. Again, importantly, we're not displacing current suppliers. We're looking at filling the extraordinary demand. Flat tell us they need another 3 or 4 million tonnes of this PV. That's just one manufacturer, 3 or 4 million more tonnes of this product by 2025, 2026. We're looking to supply some of that. So our resource estimate has been steadily climbing. Our Galala project and our northern resource project now sitting at 310 million tonnes. We're very careful about how we approach our exploration. We understand our region and our province very well. We're very sensitive to environmental issues, and we monitor that very closely, very actively with our team. So this product hits perfect spec. We put it through spirals to remove heavy mineral. It's free dig. We only mine above water table. The only things we use in processing are gravity and water for separation and magnetics at the end of the process. It's very straightforward. We hit the required specifications for PV glass manufacturers, virtually spot on. This has been referred to as the money shot, our scoping study metrics, which we recently released. We're looking to produce 3 to 5 million, start up 3 million tonnes, moving to 5 million tonnes production. Looking at gross revenue, life of mine, over 25-year life of mine, $9.8 billion. CapEx, first stage, $356 million. Payback over 72 months. Total project EBITDA, $7.4 billion. Market consensus around price at $81 a tonne. We're looking to get product on a boat, that's Australian dollars. We're looking to get product on a boat for around $27. Margin is self-evident. We're moving from scoping into PFS studies, which we believe will see that landed price even lower. We're really pleased, the initiative of the Queensland Government, the critical minerals, talking about creating a critical minerals hub for Cape Flattery, which we hope to be an active participant in. We're not sure how it'll all pan out yet. I think the announcement led policy, so policy will follow later, can only help us. So we're excited about it. We want to participate in it. We think it'll streamline some of our processes. I won't talk on market. Straightforward infrastructure, conveyor to port. We're going to create our own infrastructure in the port, share the use of the existing wharf facility to load our vessels. We believe we can get an even better outcome over time, negotiating with Mitsubishi, the incumbent, where we don't have to both replicate infrastructure. We look forward to continue to negotiate with them on that arrangement. Recently signed a tripartite deed with both Mitsubishi and Ports North to access the port area for the purposes of studies. There's a lot of cooperation going on now between us, Ports North and Cape Flattery. Our Galala project, the economics of our northern project are so compelling. We've put our Galala project, which remains an incredibly important asset, effectively on hold while we fast-track our northern development. The financial returns, the risk profiles are much lower. It's 3 times the size of our southern project. The economics are much more compelling. As responsible stewards of shareholders' money, we have to prioritise our northern project for development. So what are our drivers? We're really looking at producing a single high-purity silica product. We're really conscious about our environmental and social licence to operate. We're looking to deliver into a market that desperately needs this product to meet the solar panel demand. Low capex, startup, high NPV, rapid payback, world-class deposit. Looking at developing downstream opportunities. We confidently believe we'll be in the lowest quartile in terms of production costs, and we look forward to reconfirming that through our next step PFS process as well. So we've completed our scoping study, looking in the second half of this year to complete our bulk test work. We hope to be up and producing by the second half of 2026. Next steps are all about hard work for us, getting it through EIS process, obtaining our mining lease. We have strong support from cornerstone shareholders for project finance, so we even feel that's been somewhat de-risked this early in the process. Looking forward to advancing this to development. We think this is an extraordinary opportunity. Look forward providing an update over the coming months as we progress this forward. Thank you very much. Also, please come and see us at our booth. Have our General Manager of Projects, Alistair Bauer, myself, our General Manager of Community, Robin Bartlett. Please come and see us, have a chat. Thank you very much.